Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is described to be a film that's set to introduce more than 8 new characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one great thing about this movie is that we do know that the new characters are going to be used in a way in order to evolve the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey, and I will say that one of the big characters that I am really looking forward to seeing on the big screen is, of course, the new villain that is set to appear at the very end of the second act of the movie and have a significant role in the third act of the film. That's really going to make Kylo Ren feel a whole lot more vulnerable than ever before and is going to force both Rey and Kylo Ren in order to team up to take on this greatest evil. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it all comes down to one of the set leaks. This is where things begin to get very exciting for the new villain in Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the scenes that were filmed included a sequence between Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, and Matt Smith, where it's described that the set design included a 360-degree green screen that is said to include crashing waves in the background. It said that Matt Smith was dressed in a black cloak with a hood over his head, and even pulled it back for a moment in which he was delivering dialogue, with Ian McDiarmid over his shoulder. It said that Ian McDiarmid was delivering dialogue as Emperor Palpatine while standing over Matt's shoulder, and even performed the iconic laugh for a scene in front of Daisy and Adam as Kylo and Rey. Another sequence filmed include Matt Smith force pushing both Kylo and Rey into a wall, where they were attached to wirework. It said that one of the sequences involved Matt Smith jumping off of a trampoline of sorts while attached to wires and jumped in mid-air with a lightsaber and performed a spiral of some kind that was said to take around 15 takes to complete. Another included both Daisy and Adam hanging on the edge of a cliff set piece, with Matt Smith standing above them and stepping on Adam's hand, while giving a lecture about the dark side of the Force and pointing Kylo's crossguard saber at him. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, a lot of people have been wondering exactly who is portraying the new villain, and I think it's pretty safe to say at this point in time that it most certainly is indeed Matt Smith, also known as the Doctor from Doctor Who. So when we look at Star Wars as a whole, I will say that if you guys actually go ahead and look at Terminator Genesis and watch Matt Smith and his performance as Skynet, you can really see how he is able to portray a villain very well. Even though I have a lot of problems with that movie, you can really see just a little glimpse of Matt Smith as a major villain of what's to come in Star Wars. So like I say, it's pretty safe to say at this point that the new villain is indeed Matt Smith. But the thing that really has me puzzled over this entire scene that was shot not too long ago is that Ian McDiarmid was actually described to be standing over his shoulder and delivering dialogue as Emperor Palpatine, and even delivering the iconic laugh of Palpatine while he was standing behind Matt Smith. So we've been hearing a lot of talk right now about the Spirit of Sidious being used in Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, that is said to possess the character of Matt Smith that plays a dark acolyte in this movie, apparently. And it would make a lot of sense now, thinking that Ian McDiarmid is standing over his shoulder, or standing over his back here, standing behind him, I should say, behind Matt Smith delivering dialogue, as Matt Smith was described to be lip-syncing, or basically talking without actually talking, while Ian was delivering dialogue in order to match up the dialogue. So these are all big hints right then and there that, you know, Matt Smith could very well either A, be playing a clone of Palpatine, or could either be playing a different Darksider that is going to be possessed by Palpatine's spirit or something around those lines. That's what it's looking like. I don't want to jump into any conclusions just yet, but that's what it seems like so far. To make him fall off the cliff while aiming his crossguard lightsaber at Kylo Ren. So basically, he steals Kylo's lightsaber, ignites it, and points it at him, in a similar fashion to what Darth Vader did to Luke Skywalker, with Darth Vader's lightsaber at Luke in Empire Strikes Back. Seems to be a very well-known thing that they do in the Star Wars universe. They did this in Rebels with Ahsoka Tano. So when we look at Episode 9, guys, I gotta say, this seems like a very dark scene. It sounds like a very, I guess you could say, depressing scene for both Rey and Kylo, as they are struggling to fight this new threat, and they're having a lot of trouble trying to defeat him. So this brings one to question, where are they? Now, there's the mention of crashing waves in the background that will be replaced by the green screen. So the green screen will be replaced by that effect. Could this very well be the Death Star 2 wreckage? Could both Rey, Kylo, and this new villain be fighting on, let's say, for example, the edge of a cliff with the Death Star 2 in the background? Again, there's a mention of a cliff set piece being used where both Daisy and Adam were hanging on top of it, or hanging off of it, where Matt Smith was standing on top of course, Adam Driver's hand and smashing it into the ground in order to make him fall. So this, to me, it sounds like that, you know, when we look at Episode 9, JJ is really trying to create drama between these three different characters in a very dark environment that's said to actually be one of the darkest elements of the sequel trilogy that we have seen in history. So, like I say, parts of this movie are described to be darker than that of Revenge of the Sith. I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but that's exactly what their plan really is. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.